Hi, so I really wanted to make this video, and I am staying up really late at night just because my brain is constantly thinking about things because we just got a new Sumeru teaser trailer, but not only that, we got Dendro, baby. We got Dendro! So today, I'm going to be kind of talking about my thoughts on this. I kind of did a mini reaction on stream a while ago, from when you see this, and I just want to kind of explain my thoughts, so I will try to do this in a very orderly manner so it's not longer than 10 minutes. So first of all, Dendro is going to be here with 2 reactions so far. We don't know if there's more, we don't know if there's more planned, we have no idea, but 2 are new. And we do know that burning exists because it's Pyro and Dendro applied. You might need to apply both for both to last, or maybe it's just Pyro because it needs to burn. We don't know how burning is fully going to work yet, so that's also exciting to figure out. But today I'm going to be talking about the 2 new reactions, the Hydro and Dendro reaction called Bloom, and the Electro and Dendro reaction called Catalyze. I like the word catalyzed a lot, so anyway. These 2 reactions are going to be crucial with how Dendro is set up, and I know exactly what they're trying to do. They are trying to buff Electro and Hydro reactions. Specifically, they are also trying to somehow also buff Electro Charge, because can you imagine those 3 reactions going off all at once? It's going to be nuts. But here's the thing though. The biggest thing is with Bloom. Bloom leaves a little bloom, which we don't know if it's going to be 1 at a time, or there's a maximum of maybe 2 or 3, just like Crystallize. The main idea of this reaction is to kind of be a catalyst reaction. What's kind of funny is, earlier when I started to try and make an idea for a Dendro Theory video, which rip, I thought Dendro was going to be a catalyst reaction. And oh boy was I right. I thought it was going to be more of an alchemist reaction where it mixed with every element, but I was half right, half wrong. As I am usually. Anyway, the idea for this is the bloom is going to mix with either Pyro or Electro. We don't know if extra Hydro will make it do anything else yet. But it seems like Pyro and Electro will react with it. Pyro will cause a big explosion, causing grass to catch on fire, which I don't know if it will proc burning. We don't know. It might. And the Catalyze one seems to shoot a little homing missile at an enemy, which we don't know what this does. If this does extra Dendro damage, that would be pretty great. If it decreases Dendro resistance and deals damage, that's even greater. But that's just the power of what Bloom is going to be. It's going to serve as this catalyst reaction with Pyro and Electro, which is really cool. Now, for the other reaction, which honestly is a little less exciting, Catalyze, it's a little less exciting because we don't know anything about it yet. It seems to affect the enemy and gives it a little electric green look to it. I may be like blinking and not noticing, but do those characters attacking look faster to you? They seem faster to me, so maybe it buffs attack speed, but we don't really see the like little buff swords of getting an attack buff, so maybe not that, but it does look like the enemy suffers from something, so it's definitely a debuff reaction, and it seems like Electro is going to be seemingly a debuff reaction, with Dendro and Cryo, for example, so it's going to debuff physical resistance with Cryo, with Electro, and Electro with Dendro is going to do something, perhaps it's elemental based. I've been thinking it was elemental based ever since the beginning of time, and a lot of other people thought it was too, so whether it's Electro and Dendro damage resistance down, who knows, that would be a cop-out, but who knows. Or it's all elemental resistance down, which I think would be a really great niche. It would be a destructive, amazing niche with, overvape comps and electrocharged fireworks comps, soup comps. Actually, you wouldn't have swirl, so yeah. And, that kind of leads me into this final discussion point. We already talked about burning a little bit, but we don't fully know how it's going to function. I like the effect of Pyro Bloom. That's cool. But as for Swirl and Crystallize, I really hope they do something with those elements. It would be really stupid if they did not react, or if somehow they didn't change crystallize somehow, because I feel like Geo will be probably the least good reaction with Dendro, because you're gonna want these reactions like constantly like snap working through when you deal damage and stuff. So having Geo in the mix is really bad. And I don't want this to be a nerf to Zhongli, man. I don't want it to be, but it really might seem like a nerf to Zhongli. But if they don't have a special crystallize or a special swirl reaction with Dendro, it's gonna suck. I'm gonna actually be really disappointed with that. And as for Anemo with swirl, if Dendro does not swirl, I feel like it's still useful because the other elements that Anemo does swirl can just be swirling around, and there are plenty of off-field Anemo characters, and maybe we'll get on-field Dendro characters or off-field Dendro characters that can synergize with other Anemos that can buff just all kinds of reactions that are based on the two other elements. You know, for example, like Hydro Electro with a Swirl Anemo and a Dendro character. That would be a pretty strong team too. But it could work out that Dendro does get Resistant Shred from Anemo and does have a Swirl that's unique, and that would be a really strong team. It just would be more fun that way, but I kind of doubt that it's going to have any Swirl, but it's at least stronger than Geo. But, however, I am actually really happy that they have two new reactions, one that we already know is existing, but it's going to be spiced up, and also Bloom is the catalyst reaction, where it can react with the Electro element or Pyro element that's nearby the Bloom. And I hope the Bloom does other things too. I just hope it's not like a little bulb that needs to react later. I hope it explodes, does something on its own, or Hydro does something with it. I don't know. We didn't see Hydro react with it at all, so we'll have to see. And as for my final thoughts on what team comps and elements would work really well with Dendro, well, I mean, we already know the three, so if you have three characters that are incredibly good at both applying Hydro, Kokomi, many Electro characters really, and a Pyro character, then you're pretty much good. And I mean, Kokomi aside, you can literally slot a shielder or a healer with almost every role. Pretty much every role. Pyro has shielder and tiny healer. Electro has one healer and perhaps more along the way. And Hydro has a butt ton of healers. So we can only find out. And we aren't missing any roles with that. So I think Dendro is going to be really strong. And it seems like it's going to be a DPS element or a catalyst element that supports DPS of other elements. So I'm really excited. I don't even know what Dendro Resonance is going to be like. I thought it was going to be elemental mastery boosting, which could work actually, in my opinion, because you could focus on high overloaded damage, you could focus on high AoE electrocharge damage, you could focus on high vaporized damage, and then Dendro would just be kind of a catalyst to buff all kinds of damage. It might get in the way. I'm not sure. It might get in the way of some reactions, but we don't know that. We'll have to see in game. That's really the exciting part, toying around with new things. I'm just so excited. So yeah, I think Dendro Resonance is really, I don't know if it's strong, but it could be really strong with, any of those teams I mentioned, with whatever niche you're planning on doing. It seems really similar to Geo Resonance in that case, where you can pick and choose your preferred team, though Geo Resonance is kind of niche, but it's whatever. I'm just rambling at this point, guys. It's late. I need to finish this video, but yeah, I guess later I might make videos about what my favorite team compositions would be once we have a taste of what Dendro will be like maybe in game, and I will share my findings among many other people and their moms apparently, because this is extremely exciting. I love battle gameplay theory crafting like this. It's just so fun. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Dendro Element and the reactions, which I honestly was more excited about those than any Dendro character at this point. So I'm really excited to see how they will interact with in-game. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about these Dendro reactions and what you might be excited for in terms of team comps. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye yo.